Zone. The top left banner reads, "Savings never tasted so good." Click on that, then enter in the Big Zone Deals store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. It's a big day for Big Blue. Giants holding a private workout today with former Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. New York, which has the 3rd overall pick in next Thursday's NFL draft, will also hold private workouts with former Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe and former Louisville QB Tyler Shaw. GM Joe Shane said yesterday Giants don't think it's mandatory to draft a quarterback with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy DeVito on the roster. NCAA's changed the timeout rule in college football in an attempt to curtail players faking injuries. Starting this fall, if medical personnel enter the field to evaluate an injured player after the ball is spotted by officials for the next play, that player's team will be charged a timeout. If the team doesn't have any timeouts remaining, it'll be assessed a 5-yard delay of game penalty. NBA, Monte McNair out as Kings GM after 5 years, reports ESPN's Shams Charania.
The sound of the organ, the crack of the bat.
It is gone.
The sight of watching the ball go over the wall, and the taste of peanuts and Cracker Jacks. There's nothing like it.
Play ball!
It's America's pastime. From the first pitch to the final out, you can hear every game right here on your home for Alabama baseball.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. And now a man who knows what you ate for breakfast.
Time now for the biggest thinker of them all.
He knows it all. He is Drew DeArmond. Listen to Drew and Scott Tyson weekday mornings. It's Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
But that never worked.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Welcome in indeed, John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight of the Blitz, all the sports talk you need to know, and more, of course, with all of the goofs and the gaps as we continue on throughout the week to talk about the biggest story, which, Joe, it's going to stay with that Nico Iamaleava guy, you know, and it stinks because he's not even with the SEC. He's not even in the South anymore. So maybe it'll get to the point where we'll never even have to say his name again. Not that we're really angry with him.
I love the way y'all keep saying that, even though he is going to be in the Big Ten, which is the second most important conference in college football.
Yeah, but if
it becomes final.
If it becomes final, which right now it looks like it will be at the powder blue UCLA Bruins. It's going to be interesting to see it. I think he'll look good in the uniform, but do I think the team's going to be any bit competitive? Not really. Even I don't even care if it's the Big Ten, Joe. We're talking about UCLA here, a team that has been irrelevant in football for quite some time now. I could definitely say that and be confident about it. But we have plenty of time to talk about the Nico, about the top story throughout the week. Everybody's been talking about it. 256-576-97.7 if you want to join in on the conversation. We also got MLB news. As Spencer Strider made history last night in his first game back after a year not playing, recovering from an injury. On top of that, my Yankees absolutely swept. What was the team called again? I forgot. Oh, yeah, the Royals.
Wow,
are you a fan?
That one.
Are you a fan of Kansas City Royals? Because I know you're a Chiefs guy.
No, I love the Kansas City Royals.
Really?
I love it. I don't love them like as in I'm sitting here on dying on everything of it. I love to go into a game.
Yeah, I see you wearing the
very relaxed.
You're wearing the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, it's the Cleveland Indians.
How many teams? How much merch do you have?
Well, I have
teams,
Joe?
Cleveland
Indians gear because my alma mater is the Indians. So we used to buy all Indian stuff.
I thought it was just because you're a huge fan of Major League.
Well, and that also kind of helps with it.
That works.
Is that as well? But no, I have a ton of Cleveland Indians gear. But no, I enjoy the Royals games. It's obviously very laid back because they haven't been really competitive in a decade.
No.
And so no, they are fun games. The stadium is absolutely gorgeous to go to. It's very easy to get in and out of. They have their Hall of Fame in the left field wall. And so what you're able to do is once you go to a game, you can literally just walk around their Hall of Fame, and it has a big glass window on the front of it, so you can still watch the game as you're walking through the Hall of Fame. It's kind of cool. But no, I mean it's really just kind of one of those. I love the city, and so that's why I enjoy the team.
Well, the team rhymes with city, and that's pretty bad.
They do not know.
Aaron Judge joins an elite group through 18 games, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that. But Spencer Strider, on the other hand, he got to throw his 500th K of his career, and it is a very short career, mind you, and he's the youngest player to reach that goal. But despite reaching that goal, he's not satisfied. And of course, the Braves lose last night in that series. It was not that amazing against the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays aren't a bad team. And
up until the first game with the Braves, they were leading the NL East.
Exactly. And now they're second over there. And now for the Braves, it looks to get back on track. We'll be following a little bit more of that story. On top of that, we've got NHL news as we're finally at the precipice of the postseason, which is the best hockey you will see. And obviously what we saw in the SPHL, we still haven't really talked about, Joe. And I know you're probably still recovering from it. But at one point, you got to say something, man. Come on, you got to.
No, look, dude, I just got out of the depression, okay? Like, I genuinely just got out of it. Like, Sunday and Monday, I was a zombie.
Dude, Evansville's a good team, right?
No. Here's what's really bad. By the way, they just went up 1-0 on Peoria last night, by the way. Yeah. No, what's really bad about it is I'm doing really good. Like now I can mentally, I'm starting to move on type thing.
You talk to your therapist, you
haven't done that.
You went to a group discussion.
The problem is that my son yesterday had 2 days ago, Wednesday. No, that was yesterday. No, it was Tuesday, as a matter of fact. So Tuesday has a really bad day. And when I say bad day, as in my wife's going to hate me for this. He got upset during a class, one of his classes. Mind you, he's a kindergartner. Dropped the F-bomb.
Wait.
Right in the middle of the class.
Yeah,
my 6-year-old.
Dude.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, baby.
I mean, it was
3-point shot.
No, it was clear. Now, see, the problem is I think that I always go back to, all right, what shows have I been letting him watch? What movies have I been?
It's been Venom. It was Venom, Joe.
No, and I'm sitting here, I genuinely agree. I was like, oh crap, what have I let him watch over the last, even going to school? What songs has he been listening to? I start going, all right, what did I screw up on this? And we've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy in the video game, Rocket doesn't cuss. But instead of cuss words, he does what I do. So instead of saying SOB and actually saying it, I say son of a biscuit. I say that because we watch a lot of Bluey, and the dad always says biscuits when he messes up. So I just kind of started saying it around the house.
I love that dog.
Yeah. See, so I started saying son of a biscuit or limp biscuit. Those are the things that I will say. My son did that the other day, and I went, "Oh, that's me. I know he got that one from me." Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's there's a tracker on that,
right?
On that thing.
Yeah.
It goes straight to Joe Hunk.
Yeah, there's some phrases that which one of the parents it came from.
It's your airline tag.
Well, on Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket, instead of saying the F-bomb, he says flork.
Oh,
yeah. He's like, so let's get the flork out of here. And I slow it down so that everybody knows I'm not cussing.
That's closer than what I used to say. I used to say fudge.
Right. And so I thought, oh crap, he really said flork. And the teacher thought he said something else. And so I called my wife. I'm like, no, this is what's happening. I already started defending myself.
No.
This is not it. And so we get him home and we're like, look, you're not going to be in trouble. We're not upset with you. We just want to, what did you say? And he said it. And I went, oh no, that's the word. Yeah, no, that's the word. That absolutely is.
Man's not even trying to censor himself.
No, he told him, look, you're not going to get in trouble because he didn't want to say it.
And I'm glad that he came out and he was straight up with you. And for any of the kids that are listening, and we do have more kids listening than you would expect, and they are all very knowledgeable with the sports. just be straight up. Like, if it slips, it slips. I mean, you're a kid, you're going to hear some stuff in the classroom and on the TV. But,
we reassured him. We're like, look, if you say it, we're not trying to trick you here.
No.
Like, we're not going to say it, then you say it and you like get spanked or something. Like, no, we're wanting a communication. Say it. You're not going to get in trouble. When he said it, my wife and I looked at each other like, oh my God, he really said it. So we started talking to him about having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, look, man, it's okay to have a bad day. We all have bad days. I had a bad day Sunday and Monday. And he goes, well, why did you have a bad day? I said, well, Saturday night we had hockey. Havoc really weren't supposed to lose that game. I mean, they really genuinely weren't.
If they were in the VBC, it would have been different.
And I don't know. With the way CC's playing right now, it may not have been different.
It's true.
And so I was like, it wasn't supposed to be over. Like, we weren't planning for it to be over. We were planning to be at the VBC tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was, to last night, we were supposed to have game 1 of the second round. Like, that's how it was supposed to be. And he goes, well, it's okay. Like, you're still going to get to see him. And I was like, no, buddy, you don't understand. Like, I may not see some of these guys again. He's like, well, you can call them to go hang out. And I'm sitting here like, oh my heavens. Like, I'm looking at my wife, like, how do I explain this? I said, look, a lot of the guys like live out of the city.
Michigan.
And he goes, well, you can go visit them. I was like, well, some of them live like in Canada. And he's like, well, how far is that? So I have to like show him all this. But as I was like, so a few of these guys I may never see again after Saturday night. We weren't really all ready to say goodbye. Like, I've gotten really close to a lot of these guys. And, it was more of we're not talking hockey. Like, I'm like, hey, how's your grandmother doing? Like, I talked to Ruffin's grandmother for like 5 minutes after the game. Just like, it was that sort of thing. And so I'm telling him this, and then he starts to tear up because he's saying, so you're not going to get to see your friends anymore?
God.
And I'm like, oh my God, I just got out of this depression and now I'm feeling horrible because I'm trying to explain to my son, like, look, when the season ends, like, this is what happens. Because in his league, like in Lincoln County where he plays, he's going to see these kids either at school or he's going to see them next season. Like, there isn't that whole thing. But, yes, there's going to be some Havoc players that were there on the team last year that are going to be, or this year, that are going to be coming back next year. But there are some that are not. Like, there are some that are going to go up to the ECHL. There were some that were waiting for the season to end so that they can. And so I'm sitting here like, oh my heavens, like, I just got out of this depression. Like, I'd literally been in a funk for 2 days. And now I'm trying to explain to my son about why I was in a funk. And I just put him into a deeper funk, which is now causing me to get back into a funk. Because I'm like sitting here trying to comfort him and say it's okay to have bad days and giving him an example, but now trying to explain to him that I'm never going to see. Let's just use like Kevin Weaver Valtali because, he's cool. And so I was like, let's use that for instance, and, that I may never see him. He may go back up to Canada. He may get an ECHL offer. He may get an offer to play in a different league. Like, he may not be back in 2025, 26. And so, no, I may never actually get to see him again. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have all these things and places we're friends of and we talk on, but the face-to-face. And so he starts crying because I'm explaining that to him and I'm going, great. I just got out of this funk. And so now I'm like, you know what? I'm good. 2 days later, my son's good. I'm good. And then John goes, Joe, you've got to talk about it at some point in time. No, it sucks. It sucks. It still sucks. Like I was cleaning and washing clothes yesterday. Once we got home and I'm washing all my cold gear and I'm washing all my jerseys, my Havoc jerseys, my Havoc sweatshirts and hoodies. And, and I'm putting them all kind of in a section and I'm thinking to myself, because look, outside of one zip up, everything that I have is a sweatshirt. Well, I won't need sweatshirts like in a week because we're going to start getting into warm weather. Mm-hmm. So I could start packing that stuff away, packing the Havoc jerseys away until next season and all that. I wasn't ready for any of that. Like I genuinely wasn't. I wasn't ready to say goodbye to a lot of these guys. I was, and this is just me sitting on the bench and you and I doing the Havoc Hour. When the game ended on Saturday night, the game ended at say like 10:30. I don't think I left the Iceplex until almost 12:30.
Well,
because we were just sitting and talking.
Yeah.
Like the team invited Moulton and I to have like the team dinner afterwards. Like we never do that.
You guys go to Waffle House?
No, that's only for victories.
Did you guys ever go to Waffle House during this run?
My wife, trying to make me feel better, Sunday morning took me to Waffle House.
Good.
Trying to make me feel better. Yeah.
Wife of the year right there.
Yeah. And so we're sitting there and we're in Zambruski's, as a matter of fact, because that's where the spread was. And we're with all of the players, and I'm sitting there talking with Philly and Benito and those guys. And, they're like, hey, you going to be back? Like, yeah, I'm going to be back. Like, you go, yeah, I'm going to be, you say all this stuff, but you have no idea what's going to happen over the next 6 months.
Opportunities are going to be thrown their way.
Well, yeah. And so it's a cool thing and you want them to be successful, but with Robo and with Willie and those guys, like they are good enough to go to the next league. Like I know there were certain people that are like saying that told me on over the game or after the game, like, hey, I may not be back next season. There are some players that Moulton and I looked at each other after the game, and it was kind of like looking at how they were acting on the ice after the game. And you're thinking, was this it for them? And we just don't know. Like, one of those things, like you start like contemplating your career and all that after you lose in these situations. And so it was tough. Like you genuinely just wanted to go around and give everybody a hug. I saw Austin Alger right as I was walking to my car, and I gave him a hug. Like Connor Fries and I talked afterwards. Like, there's a lot of those things that you see, but at the same time, you just weren't ready for this to end.
Yeah. And
it wasn't one that genuinely there was no thought in our plans for this to be the last game. There was even during the broadcast in the pregame, I never said this is it. I kept saying when we win this, because I was so focused that we were going to win this game. I was so sure that we were going to win this game. And then when we came out and played the way that we did in the first 10 minutes, I was still like, oh, this is ball game. I said during the first intermission, if Huntsville gets up 2-0, it's over, because I felt that way with the way the team was playing.
Yeah.
I was not prepared to be sitting at home last night. I was not prepared to not be going to Knoxville or Birmingham or wherever we might have gone, on Friday. Like I was not prepared for any of that. I was totally sitting here telling my wife, okay, so we'll have a game on Wednesday. We're going to have a game Friday. Like we were already preparing for every bit of that. And so when my wife on Sunday goes, so what is your schedule? I go, nothing. And I don't know how to take that. Like I genuinely don't, because we've been go for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's over. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and the way that it happened too, because Joe, I'm going to be honest with you, the schedule, I wasn't 100% clear on it. It was the weekend. I was thinking about other things that I needed to do, and then just finding it out, I was like, damn, like that's upsetting. But you were having a bad day, okay? Now you're not.
Thanks,
You've gotten that off your chest. I do want to extend the invite to other Havoc fans that have hung out with us throughout the season, 256-576-9777. But real quick, before we go to break, Greg is on the phone lines, and he's got a story that relates to what we were talking about at the very beginning of the show. So, Greg, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great. And before I get to why I called, I will say this about the Havoc. I've been living in Huntsville for a long time, and I am amazed what they have created. I mean, we're almost at the point now where you can't get a ticket.
Yeah.
And I'm just blown away by that, and I think that's fantastic for Huntsville.
No doubt.
Yeah,
it's really, really cool.
Yeah, well, and before you get going, letting you know, I talked to a lady yesterday, and we were talking about a lot of things, and she asked me about how the hockey season was going, and I told her, I said, same thing I said here. I was like, I wasn't ready for it to end, and she goes, well, it's like, do people in Huntsville enjoy hockey? Because she doesn't know. She's not from here.
Yeah.
And I said, we have sold out 43 games in a row at the VBC. And she's like, well, how large is it? I said, we have 7,000 people, counting team, employees, fans at the VBC, every single Havoc game. Like 7,000 people. And she's like, oh, I thought you were going to say like 2,000. And I was like, no. Like this is it genuinely is wild how much this city has fallen in love with this team, and how much the SPHL has made a focus to changes from that beer league mentality to a true professional hockey league that is getting more respect.
Yeah, And there's another part about it that I really think is cool. Like, there was a survey that came out years ago that said that 80% of the people who leave a minor league baseball game don't know what the score is because they're going for entertainment. It's like movie night. The Havoc fans absolutely know what happened.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I mean, they are in it to win it.
It used to be that way for me. And I've told many Havoc people this, like if you go back 10 years, 15 years, I remember, especially even after I finished working for the team, when somebody would ask me, hey, let's go to a Havoc game, like I wasn't paying attention to what was going on the ice.
Yeah.
I was just there hanging out for the good time. It wasn't about that because to me, it obviously wasn't the type of hockey and the level of hockey that I was wanting to see. And then over the last like year or two, when I started watching Havoc more, I started looking at people going, this is different. And and people started saying, no, look, you don't understand. The SPHL had meetings about making a focus of this league becoming more of a legitimate, breeding ground for talent. And that's why you're starting to see better hockey.
And I think the best part about it too is that it rubs off onto the other teams around the area, the trash pandas, the serious fans that are out there. Yeah. And now with the HCFC, I mean, I see the crowds right there. They're growing and they're just going to get bigger. And now with the new mascot, dude, oh my gosh.
I mean, he's going to bring in thousands by himself.
I'm a fan of, was it Martin or Marshall? I get mixed up every time.
It's Marshall.
Well, the reason I called is I love stories about little kids who will say something or repeat something.
Yes.
And gets most of the time gets dad in trouble, which that's happened to me a lot.
Yes, same.
I was picking my daughter up one time from kindergarten, and you ever had that thing where you walk into a room and you immediately know, oh, something's happened. What happened?
Yep.
And what had happened was they were waiting for me to get there, and there were two teachers in the class. One was Miss Rose, and she was in like her mid to late 20s, and one was Miss Ann, the teachers, and she was like older. She was like in her 40s. So I just finally go, what's going on? And they told me that my daughter, and during one of the discussion periods, told them that she had a story to tell about something her dad said, and what she told them was that my dad said that Miss Rose was hot. And I'm like, well, I what's your point? So I heard about that for years and years, and still hear about that occasionally when I run into people from that neck of the woods. About the time your daughter outed you because you said the kindergarten teacher was hot. So this will never stop, and it'll be stories for a lifetime.
Oh no,
it's cool.
It's hilarious, man, because I promise you, I genuinely thought that he had said like a variation, like he didn't actually say it, and he's going to be like, I didn't really say it. I tried to explain to him I didn't really say it. I know it sounds like it, but I didn't. And so when I asked him, like, look, man, you're not going to get in trouble. You can say it. And he actually said the word. I just looked at my wife like, oh, my heavens, he really did. I genuinely thought he didn't.
Hysterical.
I mean, I'm just looking at this going, oh, and it was fantastic English. I mean, that's the other part. He used it in the correct context. He used it in the right. I mean, he put the right emphasis on the word.
Yeah, it's like those YouTube videos you look up on how to pronounce a word.
Oh, I mean, seriously, like it was spot on. Probably the best English that he's ever spoken, to be quite honest with you, up to the age of 6. And it was that. And I just thought, I cannot really believe this. Now, again, I can't fault him for it. I mean, again, I do treat him like he's much older than what he is. But at the same time, when he actually said it, I was like, dude, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the irony of that now is my daughter has 2 sons. They both play a lot of sports. And the youngest one dropped one at a ball game. And she looks at me and she goes, at least he had it grammatically correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is it.
Hey, enjoy the show. You guys are fun. I enjoy listening.
Hey, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, Greg. No, look, that's the truth.
The outfield, whenever you're in like Little League baseball, that is the most colorful place. All right. Let me just tell you.
When I was playing at New Hope, and I emphasize this, I transitioned from first base to outfield my senior year. It's where I was getting recruited, and they wanted to move me out there to get more work in it. The problem is that in left or right field where I was playing, it was right up, and it still is right up against the gymnasium. Oh, gymnasium. When have I ever said that? But it was right beside the gym. Well, you know what gyms are made of. It's that metal and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're in New Hope. It's very quiet. There's nothing happening. I try to go and I dive for a ball towards the first base line.
You put a dent in the wall.
And no, that was not me. The dent is still there, by the way. I will see it in a couple of weeks. But I get up because I was so mad at myself for not making the catch that I dropped the F-bomb. And it ricocheted off the gym.
Amplification right there.
The entire place was able to hear me cuss because of that. And I'm just thinking, oh my heavens, this is the reason I stopped cussing at the age of 20.
Gotcha.
Because I don't think the things that come out of my mouth majority of the time, they don't have a conversation with my brain before coming out. They just automatically skip that line.
My vocabulary is as bad as Bob Saget.
And so that's the reason why I don't cuss is because of it. So that's why I say son of a biscuit.
Scare me every time with that one.
I know, trust me. When my son said it the other day, I just put my head down yep, I'm about to get yelled at.
Well, Joe,
I know I am.
We do need to pay some bills, hop into a break, but when we come back, we'll hop right back into the phone lines. My cousin Vinny has been waiting patiently. He's got some breaking news for us, and you can join in on the conversation as well as we get into the thick of it here on a Thirsty Thursday on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Going to be a fantastic Thursday afternoon, mostly to partly sunny sky today. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s, only dropping into the mid 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Friday morning. A partly sunny sky for your Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing consistently into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Going to be another fantastic afternoon, dropping into the lower 60s. A mostly cloudy or an overcast sky as we head into your Saturday afternoon. Still not talking about any rain. Temperatures climbing consistently into the lower 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Never miss 1 second of Charger baseball with the Charger Zone.
Davidson's going to send this one into the gap. J.C. Wilburn get to it. He dives and dives.
Only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
It started with S, and I was concerned. So I said, son, now where to learn to talk like that. I love this song, man.
Oh no, trust me, this song will get referenced at least once a month during at our house.
That's good.
But see, then also now because my son's the oldest, he's 6. He's actually going to be in here with us tomorrow.
Party!
I could have put him on a mic after the other day. Don't know what's going to come out of his mouth.
Fun Friday, brother.
But the other part with it is that my wife has used that for me for the last 6 years. Like, hey, he's paying attention to everything you do.
Oh yeah.
So I like playing video games. He loves playing video games. I am extremely kind of over the top with the entertainment factor. He is as well. So like my wife's like, like when we get the gym, all the baby stuff out of the gym.
Yeah.
He's like, get him to start working out with you and it'll become more of a lifestyle for him and that sort of thing. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, now we have a 2-year-old and we're about to have another daughter. And so now I get to look at my wife and go, so guess who they're going to be paying attention to? Guess who they're paying attention to?
Yeah. So everything that they do is going to go on her.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
So now I get to spin it around on her.
No doubt.
And I mean, again, we're obviously still using it on me, but now I also get to tell her the same thing.
Well, Joe, besides the show being brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all your roofing needs, we do have some breaking news.
We absolutely do.
Courtesy of my cousin Vinny as he joins the show. My cousin Vinny, how are you?
Gentlemen, I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
Absolutely wonderful, brother. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. But my sources have just informed, well, I say just, I mean, it was breaking news a half hour ago when I got on hold.
Yep.
But anyway.
We appreciate you.
No problem. Lee Corso is retiring. His last game will be week 1, the first game of the season.
Yeah, and I'm glad we get to see it at least one more time. And it's about time that he does. I mean, he's been slowly but surely looking like a wreck up on the stage, sounded like a wreck, but he still does a great job. But it is getting to the point where he should probably call it quits. And I'm going to miss him because he does bring that goofy aspect. But for the last, I would say, 2 years, he's pretty much had a handler the whole time.
Yeah, and Kirk has really kind of been that handler for him. Like, I don't think that people understand, and I can't remember if Kirk has said this publicly or not, but I know that Corso literally is given the script for what, for his part, and he memorizes it. Now, he's always done that, but he does it even more now because he is getting older and he's not able to kind of do the things that he normally would do. And so I think that it's one of those that, like, yes, it's absolutely time. And I think that this is a really, like, smart decision for him.
Well, and the thing, I mean, Lee Corso is an icon, and I mean, at College Game Day for however long he's been on it, he's been just a Saturday morning must watch. So, best wishes to Lee Corso. Secondly, Joe, you were talking about the Havoc. Did they have a 2-0 lead the other night?
No, they had a 1-0. No, it was it went 1-0, and then Evansville scored the next 2 goals, and then Huntsville tied it back up at 2, and then Evansville scored the next 2.
Okay, because what I was going to say is Barry Melrose would say that a 2-goal lead is the hardest lead in practically all sports to protect.
I know,
for some reason it's hard to protect a 2-goal lead.
Well, you get comfortable.
Well, and I think that's what it is, because even when we were down in Birmingham and we were talking to the guys down there with the Bulls and Pelham, and I say Birmingham now because they're still in the playoffs and we're not, so I can't
really keep talking on them.
That was one thing that Jody even said to us is like, I hate a 2-goal lead because 2-goal leads are so hard. And me still being new to hockey, I'm still going, why is that? Like, I mean, I get the whole thing is, and maybe it is the comfort factor and then trying to ramp it back up if a team does score 1 goal. And honestly, I started thinking about that late in the game because the final of that game was 4-3. Huntsville scored with 51 seconds to go in the game. And so my thought was, all right, 51 seconds to go. You can do something in 51. Like if you can get an attack, especially if you're 6-on-5 or 6-on-4, you can get an attack and you can score. So, that was part of it with Huntsville that I thought, okay, if they tie this up and then we take it to OT and we win in OT, like I will be totally okay with it because we've done this an easier way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it was 4-2. And once it got into that 4th goal, I was so defeated because of how it happened. It was bouncing puck, player in the crease. Like I was so confused on it. And then I'm just thinking to myself, I'm looking up and I'm going, we do not have much time left. And it was starting to kind of become real at that point in time. But no, I never understood the 2-goal thing. I've never had, because again, I'm new to hockey. I'm learning everything.
Yeah. You just kind of, slowly but surely take the foot off of the neck. And that's whenever it gets to the point where the momentum is going to flip over to the other side. But just because Huntsville Havoc hockey's done doesn't mean we're done with the local sports.
Oh, no, we're close.
We got the Trash Pandas playing tonight yet again as they continue on with the Montgomery Biscuits, which we talked plenty about yesterday. You'll be able to listen to that one over on our sister station, Talk Radio WZZN. And we also got Alabama baseball as they face off against LSU. This is going to be in Baton Rouge, so it's going to be a tough one for the Crimson Tide, but it looks like they should be able to get right in this series, again, starting at tonight. It's going to be a little bit later, but keep up with our socials over at 97.7 ESPN over on Facebook and X to make sure you know when exactly first pitch is going to be. And there's also zone deals. Yeah, that's right. 50% off of your favorite joints here in the North Alabama area. Metro Diner has been added, and then tomorrow look forward to Talking Ball live at Metro Diner. But Joe, the story continues, brother, and we are being heard right now.
Let's pause.
In Winchester.
I know.
They're listening to us, Joe.
Okay, I know.
Where are you going to go with
the Lee Corso thing is probably bigger.
38 seasons, dude.
The Lee Corso story. I know the Nico thing is there.
38 seasons.
I think though that at this point, like the Lee Corso thing is now a bigger story at this very second.
It's so fresh, and I love that we're not having to talk about Nico anymore. But this is something I feel like we need to get a playlist of his best moments. And we need to be able to play them because, I mean,
of Corsos or Nico's?
Of course,
Corsos will be a lot longer and a lot better.
No, Nico's is like 3, and then there's the one where he runs out of bounds over in Arkansas.
But I think that the Lee Corso thing, like when you think of college football and you think of Saturday mornings, it was Corso.
Yeah.
And I think that this announcement that he is, I think that I believe a lot of us saw him last season and even the season prior, and that conversation was being had of. Okay, I think it is. I think it's getting pretty close to time. Like I think it is getting very close to being the moment that he truly does need to step away. I know that obviously he has a passion for it. I mean, he is the reason why that program is what it is, and I think that part of him emotionally was trying to hold on until he knew the show was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that with adding Coach Saban and definitely adding Pat McAfee, you have seen the show go to another direction that I think that he can now sit back and say, okay, we are going to be fine. Yeah. We being the show, that Kirk is going to be fine, that everybody that's involved with it, because he and Kirk Herbstreit are so incredibly close.
Yeah. And at one point he was the entire entertainment factor of the show. Yeah. Like he was the joke. And he leaned into it to the point where, that's what people came for. And yes, you got the intel at the same time, but at the end of the day, you wanted to see the old man put on the mascot head, whether it was a Buckeye, whether it was a Badger. I mean, that was what people came for. And even if it was against what you wanted to see, you're going to love him regardless. You're just going to either be against him or for him.
Right. And I think that was part of that staple of college football where like so much was changing, but you still had Saturday mornings at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
You knew that Corso was going to be at that table. You knew that Kirk was going to be at that table, but it got to the point now, and it has been getting to the point of, a lot of shows can't handle a transition from a star character to another star character.
Yeah, usually that's jumping the shark. That's
well,
whenever it changes and people start to fall away.
I think with McAfee, it is very natural. I know that he likes to play to the audience, but I think that he's kind of become that person that can do something over the top at the end that can kind of get the attention.
Yeah, and I will say McAfee's a little extra on the show. It's not like
that's who Pat is.
It is, but for Lee Corso, I mean, it seemed like it just was so natural for him to be goofy, and he was the way he reacted to the guests that came on, like whenever that child was on the show, and he was just like, "Not so fast, midget," and I was just like, "Whoa!" But at the same time, it's like, well, at the same time, this is Lee Corso we're talking about. He's from a different world altogether. But the thing is, with McAfee and the combination of Nick Saban, that is just like the thing that brings McAfee back down and makes him kind of.
They balance each other out.
It's a good balancing act.
And I think that itself has gotten it to a point in the show now where Corso he was only on for a few segments here and there now. Like, he was doing very small bits and pieces of the show.
And nobody was going to tell him to stop or to do a certain type of way. Whereas like he was the joke.
He was there as long as he wanted to be there. And if at some point in time he said, I just want to do the opening and I just want to do the ending, people would have been okay with that. But I think that he was able now to, especially over the course of the last year or two, see the reaction to McAfee, see the reaction to Nick Saban, and start going, okay, I think it's going to be okay. Yeah. I think now I can step back, and this thing that we have created, because he and Kurt were the only two things that were, the most constant on there, and say this show is moving in a direction now that is still going to be a part of every Saturday of college football, and it's not going to fade away if I go away.
I totally agree. 256-576-9777. What's your best memory with Lee Corso on those Saturday mornings? But we hop into the phone lines. We have Brandon with us. Brandon, how you doing, man?
Man, Corso, do y'all remember after Dick Clark had the stroke?
Yes.
Okay. Corso's been like that for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I thought that it is painful, and it was a detriment to his memory to keep putting him out there like that.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, no, you could definitely see the difference between Corso before and after.
Yeah.
No, that's 100% correct.
And I feel like they took advantage of him for their own reasons. Maybe he still wanted to do it, and maybe they wanted him to do it because it was positive for him and kept him going. Might have killed him if they stopped, but man, it was just, I felt bad for him every time I watched him. It just kind of made my skin crawl.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. That if he stopped doing it, it'd kill him, because now he is officially stopping it. But I think it did get to a point where you could see that he was trying to be entertaining, and it seemed at times like it was a little bit more forced than it used to be, and the shtick got a little bit repetitive, whereas he was coming up with something new every single time whenever he first started out and throughout the earlier years. But yeah, the last 2 years it seemed like you hear him kind of stop in the middle of a sentence, and then he kind of had to get the flow going again with the help of everybody around him, and appreciate the guys around him. But at the same time, to do this every single day and then every single weekend, it's gonna wear you down over a period of time.
And it's gonna sound strange, but majority of his head coaching career was spent at Indiana. And I think being at Indiana, that last, like one of those last college game days that he was at, it was kind of one of those like quote unquote like full circle moments. And it was one of those like, look, I've done Army Navy games, we've done it there, we've been at Florida State numerous times, we've been to Louisville. But Indiana is really where I coached as a head coach the most. Mm-hmm. And I think that was another one of those, all right, I did one here and I'm kind of okay with like walking away now.
Well, I'll tell you something I'd love. I love if they bring Adam Ray as Dr. Phil on that first weekend.
I don't know if I 100% get that reference.
See, I was actually taking a drink while you were saying that, and so that's the reason why I was sitting here. No, Adam Ray is basically like an improv comic, and
he's the best.
He basically does this really good Dr. Phil in there, but yeah. No, I'm actually curious now as to where and how they are going to do this College Game Day on August 30th. Like, where do they go? Is it going to be like at the quote unquote biggest game, or is it going to be at a place for Corso so that Corso could be celebrated? You know, what are they going to do in that scenario? Like, it makes me want to go ahead and I start going over to like August 30th and I start looking down at like the matchups. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like,
who does Indiana play?
Well, see, here's the other thing is the other school he's connected to the most is Florida State, and they're going to be at home against Alabama.
Yeah, that's big. I tend to be there.
Yeah, and so that is a really good candidate, unless they're going to go up to Ohio and be there for Ohio State and Texas. Honestly, that's the biggest matchup of the weekend. So, you know, it's going to be interesting what they do for this first game, since it's going to be his only one of the year.
I have a question for you that could have been a cover 5 yesterday, but I forgot to ask it.
No, go for it.
What is your go-to Easter meal?
Wait, are there Easter meals?
I think like ham.
Dinner?
Ham and mashed potatoes.
I didn't know there was a such thing as like a go-to Easter meal.
Yeah, Joe just spends his Easter just eating the Reese's eggs.
Yeah, you don't understand. Look, this weekend I'm this is going to sound bad. I'm checked out on Easter. Like, it sounds horrible to say. I know tomorrow is Good Friday, but do you guys not understand that Saturday and Sunday is WrestleMania? Like, I'm focused on that.
Yes.
Like, I'm just like, I'm not even, my wife today goes, oh crap, we have the Easter eggs. I didn't send them to with our daughter to her daycare today. They're hunting Easter eggs. And I was like, they are?
I miss Easter.
And I'm just going, wait,
Easter.
when's Easter? She goes, it is Sunday, Joseph. And I was like, it's WrestleMania
Joseph,
weekend.
you should know
She went
this.
full name. I mean, she almost went full name.
I miss prime Easter, where I used to paint the eggs. I used to get the stuff ready, and then I used to search for my basket in the house. Tom used to be the one that hit it, and he was a little sneaky guy. He was a little bastard about it. He used to put it up on the top shelf, knowing damn well I couldn't reach it. But that was prime Easter right there.
No,
now it's on my birthday.
Yeah, like I don't even know what an Easter meal is. Seriously, like we normally just have like barbecue and stuff. Like I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, we're doing a ham this year, and I went and got one that was about 8 pounds, because when you buy one, it's like 15. You never eat it all when you've only got like 5 or 6 people. Too much.
Yeah.
So I was digging through one, and my wife's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I want to get one where we eat it, and then there's enough left over for the dog so that he doesn't die of, salt in his veins, because if there's 10 pounds left over, he'll eat all of it."
Yeah, that's true.
So we're instead of doing smoked tenderloin this year, we're going to go back to the ham.
Yeah, see, I'm looking it up right now. I just asked Google, like, is there such thing as an Easter meal? And they're like, answers was, you go with your traditional ham. They even said lamb. Lamb I would be all for. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
That's tough to cook.
It is tough to cook, which is the reason why I love the lamb gyros that I always make John go eat when we go to Birmingham.
I've only went there to the Blue Onion once, Joe.
It's purple onion.
Purple onion, sorry. Oh, the Blue Onion sounds a lot worse.
Yeah, it really does.
Ugh, what was I thinking about?
I don't know.
And I got the chicken sandwich, and they put 2 chicken tenders on it, all right? Yeah. That's low class.
Paid you.
Did either one of y'all get the Red Robin pass this morning?
Was it only for this morning? Joe, did you see this?
Yeah,
he sent it to us on X.
What the heck?
Was it only this morning?
I believe it was only this morning. Yeah, they had a limited amount of them. And you get, for $20, you get a combo every day.
Well, I want to ask the people who are actually going to be sitting in a queue for the Red Robin ultimate ticket, or whatever this is, the Golden Willy Wonka ticket, pretty much. But I mean, who knows? There might still be some available. I got to go and check that out. But Brandon, we got to hit a break, man. I appreciate you reminding me that I missed out on Red Robin.
Anytime I can turn $20 into a meal for you for an entire month, it ain't exactly, feeding the 5,000, but it's the best I can do. So roll tide.
I appreciate
thank you
it,
for
man.
that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a free meal every single day.
Yeah, I did. I had no idea. This was a thing,
It's
and
a
I
golden
had no
ticket.
clue that Easter was coming up on Sunday until like yesterday.
Because you knew my birthday was on Sunday instead.
That was 1,000% what I was focused on. I was like, look, it's WrestleMania weekend. It's John's birthday weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't no. My nephew was born on August 21st, or no, August 21st, April 21st. Hey, we're going to go to break.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
NASCAR Truck Series this week at Rockingham. Corey Heim, the plus 180 favorite, win the Black's Tire 200. John Majewski plus 550. Chandler Smith 6-1. Xfinity Series on Saturday at Rockingham. The North Carolina Education Lottery 250. Justin Allgaier, the plus 220 favorite. Southeastern Conference baseball today. Texas, a $2 favorite over the Auburn Tigers in Austin. Tigers plus 154. Alabama, $1.75 dog at LSU minus 230. Troy Trojans laying $5.20 at home against Louisiana Monroe plus 350 today. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many, many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, Brandon. This is good. No. Yes.
No, it is.
It's his dad's way.
No, it's fitting because this is from WrestleMania 17.
Oh, it also connects. Okay.
See, this is why I say it's fitting.
Gotcha.
Thank
All right,
you.
back to the phone lines we go.
Did you know it was Easter weekend?
I did.
I didn't.
Because it's on my birthday. That's like every time my birthday's on Sunday, it's always Easter. Jeez.
Didn't.
Phone lines open to you, 256-576-97.7. Harry, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Good show going on this morning, guys. I've got a little bit of a cold. I just wanted to share a couple of points with you on Pat McAfee versus Corso.
Yes.
Corso is a legend, and,
Yes.
and his time has come. But through his objectivity and education and experience and exposure, he's been a delight to watch over the years. You know, I go back watching College Game Day for years. I'm 74 years old. I can remember when he was at his peak. and he's had decline the last couple of years. But I think out of respect, that I get a standing ovation as he leaves with grace and honor for his contributions to game day. Again, his objectivity was never sacrificed to celebrity, and he was spot on throughout for so many years. He's a legend, and he ought to be off stage with a standing ovation. My objective to Pat McAfee, though, is he strikes me as somebody that's more of a sports entertainer than a sports broadcaster.
He is.
Does he have the depth of education, experience, and exposure to bring insight to the game? Saban does. He's got the credentials, and he adds value to the show. I haven't been impressed by McAfee's participation in game day, in that he seems to be more of an entertainer than providing insight relative to the game of the day that they're representing by being on campus or the games that are key that day. That's just my opinion, but I don't think at the end of the day or in his career, McAfee's going to be remembered in the same light as Lee Corso.
Oh, no doubt.
No,
I think
no, absolutely not.
I think what we're looking at with the Nick Saban and the Pat McAfee combination is a good mix of these are the two new guys. Obviously, everybody knows Nick Saban. He's a great coach. Everybody in Alabama is going to love this guy. Pat McAfee, people, the options are still out there for whether people like him or don't like him. Obviously, very entertaining dude. But yes, he hasn't been in the game long enough to really know everything about the sport. I think that'll come with time, but I think it is a great combination of knowledge and entertainment that is combined into the two of them.
I also think that with McAfee, I think that part of it is also that is what he has been told his role is to be. Like that, you know.
But that's the objective.
Yeah.
That's the objectivity part. Is he going to stay objective, or is he going to sacrifice himself to the celebrity aspect of it? You're going to get a frank comment from Saban every time you ask him a straight up question. He's going to give you that objective answer that's through experience, education, and exposure. I'm seeing things on McAfee as he's ascending in celebrity that objectivity, in my opinion, has been sacrificed more than once already in his career, very young career.
Yeah, no, he plays to the audience every single place that he goes to. He absolutely does. Now, and that's where you start thinking about, okay, if Corso isn't going to be this person at the very end of the show doing his thing, like you would think, okay, what's McAfee going to do? But at the same time, McAfee always plays to the home crowd. So,
and I also think that he needs
and
to.
thanks for that phone call, man.
Yeah,
we got to get to the top of the hour.
Feel better, Harry. I also think that we're going to need to see him evolve throughout the years as well, so that his whole bit doesn't get to the point where it goes stale. Because I know some people could see that. I mean, if you don't grow with the times,
it's based on what he is going to tell, what he is going to say his role is going to be, or what ESPN wants his role to be on. If they want him to be the fun guy that's kicking the field goals and you know doing all the hometown stuff and all of that, then that's going to be his role. If they want him to be more objective and being straight up, regardless as to where you are, then he can be that. He's just going to play whatever role they want him to play.
Tennessee, we'll see you tomorrow. We got second hour coming up here on the Blitz.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. At Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Jays take 2 of 3 from the Braves. I'm Barrett Sallee, and this is your Atlanta Braves Radio Network morning update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
Spencer Strider returned to the hill for the Braves, struck out 5, and became the fastest pitcher to record 500 strikeouts in Major League history. But it was all for naught as the Blue Jays topped the Braves 3-1, including Vladimir Guerrero, who took Strider deep to seal the deal. Now, we do have a chance to get things right. Well, the Braves will be off today, but the Reeling Twins will come into town to Truist Park. As the Braves try to get back on the winning track, Chris Paddock will go for the Twins tomorrow. He'll be squaring off with Bryce Elder, who's 0-1 with a 7.20 ERA, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a 140 whip. 4 leadoff shows coming your way 6 o'clock Friday night. First pitch against the Twins from Truist Park at 7:15 Eastern Time on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by The Good Feet Store. The Good Feet Store, for over 25 years, helping people get back to the life they love without their feet getting in the way. Start your journey at goodfeet.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On Thursday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we'll be joined by Alabama softball's Audrey Vandegrift, the SEC Freshman of the Week.
Goodness, it was every little girl's dream come true. I've said it many times before, but I really solely relied on my Lord and Savior right there because man could not have done that by themselves. And I really had a lot of nerves. I had a lot of anxieties as any human would. And I just gave it up to the Lord right there. And I just said, God, please take my anxieties away from me. And I hand this moment to you. And like I said, gosh, I can't even describe what he did for me last night. And it was awesome.
Such a great mindset to have. From a softball perspective, what was the pitch that you saw?
Honestly, looking back, I didn't know it was an inside pitch.
I'll have more in a moment.
This is Christian Miller for the Good Feet Store. I know from playing football at Alabama and in the NFL that if you have foot, knee, hip, or back pain, it can be a huge challenge. The Good Feet Store is designed to personally fit you with arch supports that alleviate and even eliminate your pain altogether. Try them before you buy them. They're in your free, no obligation, personalized fitting, and you can wear them home the same day. So if you're looking to improve your game, the Good Feet Store has you covered. Stop in for a free, personalized fitting today. Roll to victory at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. Roll Tide.
Join us this afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN
the zone. Joe Hunk, Sean Abraham. The Blitz, always brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Guys, you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Unlike the Red Robin website, as soon as that gold card went available, Joe, message, service unavailable, too many requests. I'm sorry, Brandon. I tried to. I would have actually done it, but it's impossible. I've understood this. This is the market. Collectors are going to collect. People who buy food are going to buy food. And you won't have this same problem if you just go over to Zone Deals, our big Zone Deals over on our website at 977ESPN.com and get some big Zone Deals today. That site stays up for you, unlike Red Robin. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
It's only down for a few minutes. Lawler's Barbecue, Bubby's. You can also get Carrabba's over there as well. Full Moon. You can also get some golf if you want to go play golf at Gunner's Landing, as well as Cherokee Ridge.
And soon, Flow Supreme Air going to be back up on the site. I know a lot of people have been pumped for that one. It's coming back, so look forward to that as well. At the end of the month, it will be up yet again.
Yes. So all of that is how you can potentially get in and enjoy yourself some half-off gift certificates sent right to your email so that you can get them instantaneously. Some news coming out college football-wise earlier today. There were news on the NCAA's decision to have a few different rule changes that you were able to kind of see and possibly enjoy if you are a college football fan. One of those is the faking injury rule. Now, if there is medical personnel that comes on the field for an injured player after the ball is spotted, then the team was going to be charged a timeout. If that team doesn't have any timeouts remaining, then a 5-yard delay of game penalty is going to be assessed. Also, if you have ever paid attention to whenever instant replay happens, you always pay attention to stands and confirms. That are confirmed. That is no longer going to be a thing.
The vocabulary is changed?
The vocabulary is changing.
Okay.
The terms confirmed and stands will no longer be used. You will either hear upheld or overturned. That is it. It'll be one of those two answers.
All right.
So it will not be one of those, it stands. That means that they didn't have enough evidence, or it's confirmed. That means they were able to get a good shot. It will be either upheld or overturned. That is it. And also there's a brand new 12th man on the field penalty.
Ooh.
Whereas after the 2-minute timeout, why don't we just call it 2-minute warning? Like, seriously, college football, why do you got to be stupid?
Because it's got to be different, Joe.
It's dumb. If the defense commits a foul with 12 or more players on the field and all the players actually participated in the play, meaning, players not running off the field. If there are 12 players that all believe they're supposed to be on the field in that play, the officials will administer a 5-yard penalty. The offensive team would also have the option to reset the game clock back to the time at the start of the play, because that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, we've seen that. Okay. If the 12th man is attempting to leave the field and has no influence on the play, then the defensive team will be penalized 5 yards, but there will not be an adjustment made to the game clock. And also massive news as well, not so much for us as far as Alabama or Auburn fans, but this will affect Alabama A&M. NCAA has also approved coach-to-player communication for FCS programs.
Heck yeah. We're moving up on the right side. And also, did you see the Alabama A&M player? I believe he's heading to the SEC. I had that story up earlier, and it slipped away from me. But as many people are focused on the Nico and the Micah Hudson stories, we're focusing still local here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And one Mr. Cedric Smith is visiting with Georgia, and that's going to be something to keep an eye on, as he was the 6'4", 310-pound standout as a redshirt freshman at Alabama A&M. So we're going to keep an eye on him, as well as the Oregon and Ohio State dispute, as the running back coach is in the midst of getting sued from Oregon because of course, moving and maybe ripping up a contract or something and not paying all of the money for his buyout. So interesting stuff in the Big Ten.
Well, and then the news that just came a few moments ago is that Lee Corso is officially going to retire from College Game Day. He is going to do one more show on August 30th, the first weekend of the college football season. And that is going to be it for him after that. So news just came out probably 15, 20 minutes ago. And so that has kind of been
More like an hour ago.
Look, man, it doesn't matter. It just came out. Okay?
On our show, yes, it just came out 15 to 20, 30 minutes
It
ago.
just came out. It's all that matters.
Yeah, my cousin Vinny was the first one to break it, actually.
I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my bad. It was 9:01 a.m. Is that better?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I can sleep at night now.
Yes,
Knowing
but
that it was 9:01.
Lee Corso is going to officially retire from College Game Day.
Yeah. And of course, obviously the bear in the room, which is
I've been waiting
Nico,
on you to want to talk about this.
Nico Iamaleava.
I know that you've been just dying to talk about this.
Look,
now.
I thought about it at the beginning. I thought UCLA was probably the place he would go. I wasn't 100% sure about it, but now seeing him actually going to UCLA, not because of money, Joe, not because of money, just because that Tennessee offense, I guess, wasn't everything and all that Nico wanted. I don't understand how that's the case, seeing how it fits right into his play style. But yeah, UCLA Bruin. He's not a black bear anymore in Knoxville. He's going to be is it a brown bear? What's a Bruin exactly?
A Bruin is it actually, I looked up the definition just a few minutes ago.
Is it a baby bear?
Definition, look, I'm going to do it again because for some reason it got deleted from my tabs.
Don't you hate that?
Definition of a Bruin, it is a steel tool used for engraving in copper or wood.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's a Burin, not a Bruin. Why? I didn't want a Burin. I want a Bruin.
A Burin.
There we go.
A
A
Burin.
bear, especially in children's fables. It's a fake bear. No, it's really just a bear. That's what it is.
A brown bear?
No, it just says a bear.
I'm going to say a brown bear just because the Boston Bruins have a brown bear. And I think UCLA's is also a brown bear, right? Yeah.
A Bruin is a bear who... Yeah, it's weird. It's just a bear.
The bear from Goldilocks?
It's just a bear. Yes,
All
actually,
three of them.
that is a bear. That is a Bruin. Yes.
It's weird.
Yes.
Why did they change the
A
name?
Bruin is simply another name for a bear, especially a brown bear, and it's often used in mascots instead of the word bears. The term Bruin originates from the Dutch word brun, Bruin, B-R-U-U-N, meaning brown. So there you go. Call it a brown bear.
Wow.
Are you happy?
The UCLA Brown Bears. Yeah, I guess the Bruins sound a little bit better.
Yes. The Boston Bears.
I'm glad it's not the Boston Bears.
God,
I don't even like the Chicago Bears name, if we're being honest. But Joe, UCLA being the landing spot for one Mr. very much talked about Nico Iamaleava.
It is not 100%. It is a rumor that Colin Cowherd has started because he says that he has sources that are telling him that nobody else is reporting it. It is now
everybody's reporting it.
Nobody else is reporting that this is what's happening. It's being said that he is the first one to break it. That is the source, and until it is finalized, but this is where things are leaning because just a little while ago I saw that UCLA is totally happy with continuing to sit on an offer to Nico because right now they know that he doesn't have any other places to really go. And so that they know that they can let the money go down to an amount where they actually want to pay.
When do we get the confirmation? Because I see on 3, it says committed Nico Iamaleava.
See, and I see.
Are they wrong? Are you calling on 3 wrong?
And right on ESPN, it says there are sources that are saying that UCLA is in talks with Nico, and that was posted this morning.
See, this is what I don't like. I look at this and it says Tennessee QB Iamaleava is expected, even though they use a picture that says on 3 transfer portal committed. I just don't like that.
Well,
either way, do you think this would be the best option for Nico, especially because there's probably not any other place that actually wants him?
Like the best option on this date, April 17th, 2025, or the best option for a period?
He just needed to get out of the South.
Because there's a different part of this, because again, with the SEC, you enter the transfer portal now, you can't go into the SEC. So it's not like he could have transferred to Auburn or Florida or Georgia or anything like that.
It takes away 15 other teams, and he wasn't. They're sure as hell not going to go back to Tennessee unless he's one Mr. Kentucky wide receiver that ended up, going back to Kentucky over the offseason. But the way Nico ended it at Tennessee is a done deal. That is not going to be rekindled. UCLA, though, opposite side of the country, he comes in there. If he is confirmed to be their quarterback, I don't see him getting paid the same amount. And on top of that, I don't think they're going to really welcome him with open arms, especially not the students.
No, they're not going to welcome him with open arms because nobody's going to care that he's there. See, that's the other problem with this. Like, Nico is going to a situation where he is going to be playing at a school that doesn't care about football. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, they got this facility, and I was watching a video on it just a little while ago about the new facility that the Bruins built for the football team. And, it's got its practice fields and all this other stuff. And the players are doing this kind of walkthrough of everything. And I'm just looking at it going, I mean, it's nothing special. It really isn't. Have you ever been to the campus of UCLA?
So I have not been to California. You should know this about me already.
Okay, well, this reason I asked. It's dirty. It's nasty. It literally is in the middle of like a metropolis part of LA.
Yeah, it's LA. Joe.
Like, but I'm just saying, like,
everybody.
It's not like USC.
Yeah.
Okay, USC.
No, USC
when you step on the campus of USC, you're on USC's campus.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Okay, UCLA. My wife and I, when we went to LA, it was 2000. It was the Kobe retirement game.
Kobe.
So we're there, and we go to both UCLA and USC. Okay. And there's the reason we went to UCLA wasn't to go to UCLA. The reason we went to UCLA is because actually right across from the entrance at UCLA, this is going to sound very, very morbid, is the tomb where Marilyn Monroe is buried. My wife wanted to see it. It's where like Rodney Dangerfield is buried. Like it is Hugh Hefner is buried there. Like a lot of famous people are buried in this one little spot. And so my wife wanted to go there. And I went, oh, look, we're right across from UCLA. So that's why we went over there. And we're walking around the campus and we look at each other and we're going, this is dirty. Like, this is not a good campus. Like I'm looking at it.
I mean, you're dogging it a little bit more than it needs to be. Obviously, the buildings are older and it seems it's not terrible. It just isn't really updated. And I think that's the way UCLA likes it.
But see, again,
they have money for everything else in LA.
No, that's what I'm saying is, but again, you look at what USC is, their campus, very nice. I mean, again, it's a private institution. It's totally different, but they play in a Rose Bowl where they barely get people to even show up. This man's used to playing in a stadium of 100,000 people every single Saturday.
Well, maybe the pressure was too much for him, like he showed in that Arkansas game.
I mean, look, there's one game, man. This guy still made it to the college football playoffs. Like, we want to act like
did he do that, or did his running backs and wide receivers do that?
Well, who got him the football?
Yes,
exactly.
A quarterback, Brandon Whedon could have got Dylan Sampson the football, Joe.
No, yeah, you hand it off, but I'm just talking about like he has all the intangibles to be a great quarterback if he can make the right decision. The problem is sometimes he doesn't make the right decision, as we're seeing right now.
Well, good thing.
Why do you choose UCLA? There's like, even if you're looking at the coaching staff, and I know that they have Tino Sunseri, who obviously has connections to Alabama and Tennessee and the Sunseri family. You know, he was the quarterback coach for Indiana last year, which again made it to the college football playoffs. But why? Like, there's no reason that you should even be thinking about going to UCLA. If you're going to a single university in LA, it should be USC.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about it, all right? Nico, where was he born?
I'm assuming California.
Yeah, Long Beach, California. Okay, so he had his options. He could have gone to a few different campuses. Do we know where his dad went to college? Do we know where his family went to college?
No,
because that would be something to also look into to see, where exactly it was at. Long Beach, in Los Angeles, UCLA, the Los Angeles campus. I mean, he's going back home, and obviously he's not going to be making the same amount of money. I don't think it's even about the defense. I think it is obviously about the money. And obviously, I would say hometown. Get back home. You're with everybody. But now it leaves Madden Iamaleava. I think is he at Arkansas? I don't really think about him too much.
He went to Oklahoma.
One of the red schools.
Yeah.
Regardless, that's what leaves him out to dry. I wonder when he's going to be the next one to move. Is it going to be because of Arkansas or Oklahoma's offense? Because obviously Oklahoma doesn't have that offense set in stone.
No, it is Arkansas. I apologize.
But he's behind. He's behind Taylor Green, so he's not going to really get a chance until Taylor Green graduates, which is going to be in another year or 2 years, depending on when he wants to leave. So That's what I'm looking at. Is Madden going to come back to UCLA, or is he going to go to USC? Is he going to come back to California? If he does, then it would start making sense. But for the reason that he's just going back home, I'm thinking about it. The money has been left in Knoxville because you're going to be making maybe $1 million, 1.25, okay, compared to the 2.25, or maybe even you could have mustered up maybe even $3 million. You could have stretched it. And honestly, when you hear what Lane Kiffin had to, it wasn't Lane Kiffin, it was Urban Meyer, what he said about it, about the whole, Josh Heupel, his team's not going to be as good, and then he's going to turn around and say, I took a stand for this campus, even though his team might end up being 5-7. That's not going to get the fans riled up. I agree with Urban Meyer in a way, but at the same time, you got to take that stand, and he did it for all of college football, not just himself, not just for the University of Tennessee, not just for SEC, for all of college football. You got to take a stand over some of these players because this isn't the NFL. They're good players are all over the place. It just depends on if you can coach them right.
Well, the reason he had to make the stand is because if he would have allowed Nico to do this,
Pandora's box,
then you do open up Pandora's box, and half your team now wants to sit out because of this. So that was the only choice he had.
Yeah,
there was no way that he was going to be able to pay and get the boosters to pay this when he was not going to be able to pay any other player this money that they were going to be asking for after that. And now you start going down to a ripple down effect of this. Honestly, what you could have done, honestly, it depends on what direction you're wanting to go. Heupel went the direction of like, look, I've got to keep this door shut. Yeah. If I open this door, my entire program could be screwed over before we even get into the fall. And now every one of my players are entering the transfer portal, and I don't have a single thing coming back this year. We're going to have like tryouts over the summer to try to find players just to play and to wear a uniform like they just came off the death penalty.
I would say the desperation level in Knoxville is still pretty high right now.
But if you would have opened the box, then you could have then turned around and looked at the NCAA and be like, so are you going to do something about this?
Because everybody's sitting out, but they need the money.
What are you going to do? Yeah. Because and that's where
got to be limitations.
It is. There's a lot of it's a give and take. It's a catch-22 on it. That either way he went, he was losing something. There was no win-win for him in this. He gained his pride. He lost his quarterback. He keeps his quarterback. He possibly loses the rest of the room, and his quarterback doesn't have anybody to throw to. And then his quarterback still wants to leave because everybody else has entered the transfer portal.
I respect it, but I think Urban Meyer does have a little bit of a case, even though he's kind of all over the place in his mind. Either way, we got to hit a break. When we come back, talking to yet another coach who has to make some pretty tough decisions. It is Jimmy Gay joining us from the Huntsville Panthers football team, going into his second year as the head coach of the Region 7A, 7-4, or R14.
We have more developing news when we come back.
Oh, geez.
This time with Auburn.
Well, it's not going to stop our conversation with Jimmy. It's
No,
going to be a fun one when we get back here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. If any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000, 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
This is Steve Moulton for Lee's Magic Tunnel. Do you live out of your car? Does your car look like you've been well lived in? Then take your vehicle to Lee's Magic Tunnel, located on the Parkway. Any size of the vehicle, it doesn't matter. Lee's will get it clean. Offering many types of washes, but getting it clean inside and out. Ask for the manager special. That's at Lee's Magic Tunnel, located on the Parkway, and located online at leesmagictunnel.com for more information.
Continuing on the Blitz on this Thursday morning. 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as WZZN TV. Always brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Yep, they're the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. Find them at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote. And remember that they show up.
Absolutely. But let's talk a little football, a little not NFL football. Now, we do have the developing news that I'm telling you about, and we'll get into it a little bit deeper here in just a little bit. If you are an Auburn fan, just know that Auburn's Chad Baker-Mazara has officially entered the transfer portal.
Dang. Well,
told you it's a bigger one.
There's a lot of
is.
give and take with these teams. Of course, Alabama's also seen it over on Duke's side. Of course, Knipple, he is going to the NBA draft, or at least he's going to attempt it. Still waiting on Cooper Flagg, see what he's going to be doing. But forget about that college talk. Forget about the NFL. Forget about all of the craziness that is the transfer portal, because we're talking high school football. And we've got Coach Jimmy Gay on from the Huntsville Panthers, and he joins us now. Coach, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing great.
No, that's good to hear.
It's fantastic, Coach.
Good to hear from you. Going into your second year, of course. First year wasn't as what you wanted, but it wasn't also that bad. Of course, coming into your first time coaching this squad, I mean, you reached the 500 mark, and you were able to find some big wins along the way, but kind of recap it for us, and then we'll get into a little bit more of the spring football. But what was your feelings on your first season as the Huntsville coach?
You know, I was disappointed. You know, I expected to win more than 5 ball games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we started off pretty good, and then as the competition got tougher, we kind of wilted. So that's what we're working on to correct in the offseason.
Yeah.
How do you correct that? Like whenever you're going in and you're having your spring practices and everything, like how do you change that mentality?
Or we're just going to hold them accountable. And everything they do, they've got to be accountable.
Yeah, and you talked about it before you even got onto the campus to meet these players and all that. You talked about that mentality, and I want to know exactly what it is for your team and how it's kind of changed throughout the year going into year 2.
Well, I think the kids are buying in. We've had a pretty good off season in the weight room. We just want to be known as a hard-nosed football team.
Mm-hmm.
And we still got a long ways to go in that.
Yeah, we got to see up close and personal against that Sparkman Senators squad, which was a very close one. It was a hard-fought one.
Yes.
It was 14-12 at the end of it. Sparkman taking the win, and then of course at that second half of the season, you faced off against some of the tougher opponents that you see in the area. And I want to know, for the players that are coming back, obviously you're going to lose some leaders. Tell me a little bit about those guys, what their paths forward are, but also some of the new kids that are going to be stepping up into that leadership role.
Well, it remains to be seen. But, as far as going into the next season, we've had several that have, shown a lot of leadership. Ben Watson, Ryan Moore, Dwight Parker. On the offensive line, I think Davis Shoemaker's has bought in, been working his rear end off. Michael Price. Defensive line, we got Frank Zingarita, Griffin Story, Terry Cawthorn. All of them, they've been working hard in the weight room. They've been buying in. So, they're just going to have to show up and play.
No. And talk about what you guys are doing. Spring football, of course, going on for you, working out, these drills. I remember back in my high school days getting, made to run up a hill or get strapped to some contraption with another football player, just like try and run away from them. Or the same, there's a disc thing that we used to try and pull. It was like a little wrestling match. Do you guys implement any of that, or what type of things are you guys doing to try and get ready or strengthen up for the upcoming season?
We do. We do the basics. We're going to hit the weight room. We're going to do, our speed and agility stuff on the field, and we'll have competition days. Pulling that push-pull where they're trying to fight over an axe handle or something like that. We do all that. We want them to embrace competition. And understand that you might lose, but just you don't have your will should never break.
Coach, if a question for you is, whenever you try to talk to a couple of your guys, especially those two offensive linemen like Joey Fleming and Michael Price, do you have to ask them what state they're in at this point in time? Because I'm you see them going all over the country and stuff, trying to do workouts and everything.
I don't. This is my thing. You've got to make plays on Friday night. They've been blessed tremendously with their size and their skill set. But, if they don't come out and make plays on Friday night, what good does that do?
Right.
I think that's great for them. It is great for them. But, at the end of the day, those college coaches, they do look at game film.
Yeah.
Or I hope they do anyway. And if you're players make plays.
Oh, that is the truth.
I think their work on Friday night should speak for itself.
Well, Coach, you've had experience in the past. Of course, you won a state championship back in Class 1A. That was back in 2003, and obviously you've gone through the cycle of different classes, and now you're at Huntsville. Talk about how the sport has kind of changed for you throughout your years coaching football.
Well, that's a good question. I think we're still in the building phase in Huntsville City. It's not been a priority.
Right.
I think Dr. Sutton's going to make it a priority. We're in the last decade, or over a decade, I've been at places that has invested a lot in their athletic facilities and invested a lot in their student athletes. And I think Huntsville City still got to make a step towards that. That's the biggest thing I have seen, in my career, is that school systems making investment in their student athletes.
Yeah, and your decision to come to Huntsville, I mean, was that a part of it? You seeing that there is a path forward to invest in the football team? Because Huntsville's getting a lot of talent. It's just the development part that we're waiting to see it truly happen.
Well, there's been some great teams that have come through Huntsville City, but they're few and far between, and things have changed over time, and we've just got to keep up with them. At the end of the day, you've got to make it a priority if you want to be good and compete. And we want to compete on a state level.
Absolutely.
That's our goal.
And you talked about like investing in the city and all that sort of stuff. What all do you think does need to be done to kind of up the game in North Alabama?
Oh, I just think it's got to be a priority. You got to match what they're doing at other places. You find your unique skill set. That's one of the reasons I found this job. I wanted to come here was because Huntsville's booming.
No, it definitely is. I mean, the pro teams around it.
Is booming. And, I think it can be great for high school football.
And it's shown for high school basketball. It's definitely on the rise. High school football, still waiting to see it fully come to play. Of course, we have some of those teams that do have a surprise season, but obviously that comes with consistency. And Coach, you were 5-5 last season. Going into this upcoming year, what is the goals for this team, and how do you see it really coming into fruition for you?
We want to take one game at a time. We're not looking ahead. We want to take one game at a time. We want to get it better every day.
Mm-hmm. No, we're definitely looking forward to it. And we're also looking forward to having you at our high school media days coming up during the summertime. It'll be later. We'll tell you about it. So you guys will be ready to come with some of your players as well. But Coach, we appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to it all coming up in this upcoming season.
Well, I appreciate y'all calling.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you so much.
No doubt. Good stuff right there. Coach Jimmy Gay from the Huntsville Panthers. Now, I want to see – I'm excited because we are going to get to see this team, Joe, up close and personal. We're going to be doing the Sparkman games. They're in the same conference. It's going to be able to be seen. But it really is going to be that growth. And I wonder how – exactly, Jimmy Gay is going to make it happen with this team, because to make North Alabama, to make Alabama like the rest of this, I would say, area, even going to Georgia, going to Florida, some of these other places that also allow monetization to some of their players, which is not something that we initially need, but that's something that could help boost some of the growth within the area.
Well, I think that's this area football wise, we know how good the basketball is. Like, again, I know that we covered a lot of the Huntsville Panther basketball games this year. A lot of us did those games this season. And I know that you've seen how those athletes are going, D1, high D1. Mm-hmm. I mean, we are talking Auburn, Alabama. Now you have players at Samford and across the region. So, I get that part with it. The football, it doesn't matter what state you are in, the football is always going to be the moneymaker.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even argue, again, even in North Carolina where they're, basketball heavy. I mean, Indiana, basketball heavy. Football is still the one that's going to be the moneymaker.
No doubt.
So you have to look at it from that standpoint where Huntsville City Schools and in the county and everything, if you do want to compete to get out of the first round, you've got to invest that would do this. And I don't know how much, Jimmy Gay is making or anything like that, but I do have a really good idea of how much those coaches are getting paid down in the region of death down there that we always joke about.
Oh yeah.
And I know they're making six figures. Like this is part of it. And I know that there's going to be regular people like, wait a second, you want to pay a high school football coach six figures, about the teachers. Look, I'm talking about the money that's coming into the school and how it is coming into the school. And down in Birmingham, there's a lot of money coming into the programs through the football team.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm not wanting to put any words into Jimmy Gay's mouth. I'm just saying that you have got to start looking at this as more of what we do in college. If NFL is the NFL, if college football is becoming the NFL, then what is going to be the new college football? Like that's where the question lies. So you have to start looking at this like you would if you were a college program. And so again, don't know all of the inner workings of how 7A football works with coaches and all this sort of stuff and funding and money and all this other thing. But again, I do know that, coming up, what is today? Today's the 17th. I've got like in 9 days, I'm going to be in New Hope helping with an event on the 26th to help raise money for the football program. Like they still do fundraisers and all that sort of thing. You have got to invest in your football program for it to start actually getting somewhere where you have 3, 4, 5 programs that are getting out of the first round instead of, well, it's one and done every single year. And you may have one program that makes it to the second round, may have one that makes it to the third, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And there is an issue with that. There is a real issue with that. And you are seeing it and you don't think that you really think about it until you then get to see what's going on in Birmingham and you go, oh, this is a totally different animal. Like it absolutely is. I remember a couple of, matter of fact, it was the COVID year, 2020. I remember I was working for Austin High School at that point in time, and they had just been absolutely outstanding in 2020. And the last game of the regular season, they were facing like one of the lower tier region of death teams and didn't play well. And then they were hosting like the lowest tier of the region of death team in the next round of the playoff and got absolutely waxed. And I'm thinking, that's like the number 4 team in the region. That was like the number 3 team. Think about if you were facing the 2 or the 1, which would have been like Hoover or Thompson at the time. You've got to figure out a way. If you want to be serious about it, the way you get serious is by allocating more money to those programs so that they can get on that level.
And they get results. I mean, it shows, but regardless of that, we're going to take it to break. When we get back, final segment of this Thursday edition of the show. So don't go anywhere because phone line's back open to you. 256-576. You muted your mic before. You knew that I was going to.
I always mute my mic. I always mute it myself.
We'll be right back here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WZZN TV.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. At Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's going to fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Sports Talk 24/7, 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
Final segment, best segment on the Blitz, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, Sean Abraham, always brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Don't forget that coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, Alabama and LSU baseball, as we still have 5 weekends to go. This is what's crazy. We have 5 weekends to go in Division I baseball. We only have 2 weekends to go in Division II baseball.
It's going to be over too soon, man. I wanted to do more softball games. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with the baseball game last weekend.
UAH's last homestand in the last 3 games of the regular season are coming up next weekend, but LSU and Alabama still have 5 weekends to go, counting what's about to start tonight. Alabama and LSU. Alabama's 15th in the country. LSU is number 9 in the country. And at the moment, LSU is a 5 seed in the SEC tournament, where Alabama is an 8 seed. That's going to be at 7 o'clock here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And then over on our sister station, right behind John Abraham, is going to be the Trash Pandas and the Biscuits. First pitch is going to be at 6:35 over there with Josh Carey. And that is where the Biscuits have unfortunately won the first 2 of those 6 games.
Yeah, it's probably because they taste so good. Regardless, continuing on with some of the baseball talk over in the MLB, of course, Spencer Strider got the start yesterday, Joe. I think he did pretty well. 5 strikeouts. That's pretty nice. He also gets over the 500 marks of strikeouts throughout his career. And it was his first time in the last 375 days. So, over a year, and to have a pretty decent performance. He only gave up 2 runs in his time, but it really just came in the offense not being able to get anything done against the Blue Jays yesterday. And for the Yankees, similar history, different results. Aaron Judge is an absolute boost.
Going
Or a
back to
beast.
going back to the Braves, the only person that really hurt Strider was Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the RBI single, he had the home run. So those were the 2 runs there, 5 strikeouts. He looked good. He looked healthy. He was able to go the 6th innings. And so that's where I was kind of happy with. I know that he obviously gave up the home run in the 6th before any outs were made. So technically only went 5. But I think that he looked very good. And honestly, with the way that offense had been performing over the last few weeks or last week or so, they have been actually hitting much better. And you would have thought that they were going to be able to score more than 1 run, but unfortunately Bassett struck them out 10 times, so they were not able to do that. So
and
continue.
He started things off pretty hot, and then the rest of the pitching lineup, they just were able to continue it. But for the Yankees, Joe, I'm excited about this one. I've been getting into the baseball a little bit more this year. I've been following the baseball a little bit more. I've been sitting down working with the baseball whenever it's on the TV. I'm writing stuff up. I'm emailing people, and I got baseball in front of me. I've been playing the baseball on the PS Vita, and it's been a little double baseball entendre. But Aaron Judge is an absolute beast. I don't know if people understand what we're witnessing right now. This is something similar to what Mickey Mantle would have done back in the 50s. This is something that Jimmy Fox would have done back in the 30s. For anybody who knows that guy or was even around when that guy was around, rest in peace if you're not. But we're looking at a guy that's got a slash line of over.
I don't know if the app reaches there. I don't know if it does. It'd be cool if it did. Call us from heaven right now, 256-576-977.
Oh, there's an add-on to that one.
Is there an extra fee?
It's an extension to that one.
They have to dial more than one. It's probably 911, but that's what they have to dial.
Something different.
Okay.
But he's
why on earth did you just say Aaron Judge and Mickey Mantle? That's what I'm curious about.
We're looking at a guy that's hitting. He has 7 home runs. 7 plus home runs. He's got 20 plus RBIs, at least on his slash line, 400, 500, 800 above through 18 games, Joe. We're looking at history right now, and I don't know if you're appreciating it because you're too busy wearing a Boston Red Sox jersey, a Cleveland Indians, which that's not even their name anymore. So you got a retro shirt on. I appreciate that. Or you're maybe glancing at what the Braves are doing as they lose.
So one, I absolutely love Aaron Judge, and is possibly part of the reason why I do watch as many Yankee games as I do, unfortunately. Yeah. The other part is that I wouldn't put him in the same realm as Mickey Mantle, mainly just because he doesn't have the speed that Mickey did have before the injury. Thanks, Joe DiMaggio. And so those are some of the issues that with that one. I honestly believe that Aaron Judge, if he was in a lineup where he was protected and was able to stay healthy the way that he was, because Juan Soto really talked about that earlier in this week. I truly do believe that if Aaron Judge DH'd for 162, that he would break Barry Bonds' record. I mean, I genuinely believe that. He's already, technically, in my opinion, he's already the home run champion because he did hit 62 home runs, which is the American League record. But he's never been connected to any sort of PEDs. He's never been connected to steroids. He's never done anything else like that.
He's pretty much just a Hulk.
So, that's what he is. I mean, the guy's a linebacker playing Major League Baseball. And so it's one for him that I'm like, look, he's the home run king, in my opinion, as far as the single season home run king is concerned. Yeah. He hit 62 and he deserves the accolades that he does. That's the reason, honestly, I do continue to enjoy watching him play. I do believe, though, that if he were to have a full season just DHing, not worrying about playing in the field and just going up to bat 3 and 4 times a game, that he would hit 74. I genuinely, with his ability to hit, if he got protected, he would, because what will eventually happen if he started doing kind of like what happened whenever he hit 62 and 22, that he would then start to get pitched around and get walked.
Yeah,
then towards the September,
they walked him yesterday, for crying out loud. And he still went 3 for 3.
No.
That was before he even hit that other home run.
Yeah. And so that's why with him, it's a situation that he's got to have somebody around him that could protect him in the lineup. And so, look, I know that he obviously plays right field a lot. We've seen him in center field at points in time last year. I think he even played left field a little bit.
Doesn't need to be in center field, that's for sure.
But he played in 158 games last year, and he hit 58 home runs. He played in only 106 games back in 2023, and he hit 37 home runs. He hit 62 when he played in 157. If he was just DHing, he hit 74. Like he's that powerful and that good of a hitter. And the problem is you're going to start seeing players start to pitch around him.
Yeah.
He is on pace right now in something that is magnificent, honestly, especially after the first week of the season, because he had like 5 home runs after the first week of the season. And so, I mean, his OPS right now is at 1322. That is absolutely outstanding and amazing as what it is. And what's crazy is, before anybody asks the question, what is OPS? It's literally slugging percentage versus on base percentage. And when I say it's that plus that, it's not some weird algorithm where you have to like divide by 9, multiply times 27 or anything like that. No, you look at the slugging percentage, you look at the on base percentage, and you add them together.
Boom.
That's it. So if somebody's got 800 of one, 400 of the other, their OPS is
13.
God bless it.
100, 14, 1200. 800. Joe, I didn't expect. I was reading an article, right?
8 plus 4 is what?
8 plus 4?
Yeah,
it's 1200.
Add 2 zeros. It's 1200.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was focused. I was zoned in. I was looking at these different stats. Okay.
That was a Moneyball scene.
Sorry, I
heard.
Does
he do well?
Baseball.
Gets on base. Don't make me point to the kid again. Don't make me point to the kid. Okay.
I've watched Moneyball once.
Well?
Get on base.
Thank you. That's exactly what he does. But he's got bad knees. Don't make me point to the kid. What does he do?
He gets on base.
There we go. That's all it is. That's what it is with Aaron Judge. Dude mashes.
Hey, and also Cruz got his first save of his career, which was pretty impressive as well. Even though he almost gave up the game. I mean, he straight up almost gave it to that Royals team. So I'm so glad it didn't happen. But
I cannot believe you didn't.
I wasn't 100% listening. Okay.
Sidebar.
It happens.
Okay. So totally different question. Cause the whole conversation about Nico going from playing in Neyland to going and playing at the Rose Bowl. So I looked up the average attendance numbers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Neyland sold out every game, 101, 915. Okay. UCLA, would you like to know what their average attendance was in 2024?
24,000.
It was 47.9. Okay. Now, and you're going, oh, that's not bad.
That's impressive.
The only stadium that could actually hold that and still sell a few more tickets, if we're talking, well, actually, let's back that up. The only stadium in the state of Alabama where that would be considered a sellout would be down in Birmingham at UAB. They have 47-1 would be a sellout for them.
It just means more, Joe. Just means more. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We got Florida conversation as well as Alabama with Drew DeArmond on the Blitz.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained.